Hey guys, what's up? It's me, Shawn, and today we're back with another video. It's been a minute. I always say that. I feel like I always start these videos with me saying it's been a minute, but it's really been a minute. I'm sorry, but I've been working and laid up with my girlfriend and having sex. I'm here because you know what today is. You don't know what today is, but today is my 1 year off tea, or my 1 year off testosterone, my 1 year detransitioning. No, not really, but I've been off T since November of last year. And while me being off T didn't start as me detransitioning, it did later on in the months ahead. Was like me finally being like, I'm not taking T anymore, and I'm officially detransitioning. But yeah, hi, my name is Shawn, and this is my voice. 1 year off T. I used to do videos like that. You know, I had my progress videos, and I remember being so excited to make those 1 year, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 7 months, etc. on T, because I used to watch the fuck out of those videos. Now keep in mind, this was like 2012, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, and this was probably, this was before now you have tons and tons of transition videos and TikToks and Instagram reels and whatever the kids are using. But back then, I remember watching women who were deciding to transition on YouTube. I used to watch their videos on YouTube, and this was like before monetization was a thing. So these were just regular ass women just talking about dysphoria, gender dysphoria, and documenting their trans journey, if you will. And yeah, I used to day in, sun out, day in, day out, watching these videos on my home family computer, because I didn't have a personal computer at the time. I don't think tablets was out yet. I don't even know if the iPod Touch was out yet. I think it was, maybe, because remember iPod Touch with the YouTube? You go on YouTube, you go, yeah, but I used to watch these videos on YouTube, back when YouTube used to be like 480p at most. Yeah, I used to watch these videos all the time. So I was so excited to finally, when I got on T, to document my videos. So I made pretty much videos for every year. Well, every month up until like a year and some change. And yeah, and I would do the whole, this is my voice, 1 month on T, this is my voice, 2 months on T, this is my changes and stuff. And as much as I would love to show you those videos, I deleted them. They got deleted somewhere. It got lost in the sauce. The YouTube channel that I had back then been deleted. In fact, I've probably deleted like 4 YouTube channels. One was for my transitioning, and then I wanted to be a gaming channel, and then I did music, and then I just deleted all of them, and they're just dead and gone. And who knows the fate of this YouTube channel? With reading all the dead internet theory and watching all the videos about dead internet theory, I don't know how much of y'all is even actually real. How many of those 50 subscribers that I have right now is even real? But comment below if you are real. It's just funny because back then you would have told me, fucking 19, 20-year-old me, that I was gonna detransition. I would have looked at you crazy. Like, if 19-year-old me could talk to me right now and be like, the fuck is you doing? 19-year-old me would probably call me a TERF. But I don't even think TERF was like a word then. Maybe it was, but like it didn't catch on yet. But yeah, 19, 20-year-old me looking at me right now that's detransition, even though I still roughly look the same, but that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about any changes physically, mentally, emotionally, all that shit since detransitioning. So I just want to start first with, while I did stop taking testosterone last November, but it wasn't for detransition. I'm going to explain that. So for since 2020, okay, my uterus was being crazy. I already talked about my fucking uterus hysterectomy, all that shit, dealing with fibroids, and then dealing with adenomyosis and all of that in a separate video. But Anyways, I was dealing with that, and I was dealing with that. I was bleeding all of the time. I was in constant cramping pains. I had to get blood transfusions and stuff. And then it just got to a point where it's like, why the fuck am I taking testosterone if it's not doing the thing that I wanted it to do? Like one of the, one of the changes that I was so excited for when I first started taking testosterone was like no more periods. Even though back then my periods weren't really that much of an issue. I mean, when I used to have normal ass periods before I was on testosterone, it would just be normal as fuck. It would be normal as fuck. Minimal cramping. Like I just take a Tylenol and it's gone. But unfortunately, I had fibroids, and then I had adenomyosis, and then things just went to shit, and I was just bleeding all of the fucking time to the point where I was like, why the fuck am I taking testosterone? Like I used to try to use testosterone as a way to, like, I would tell my doctor at the time, like, can we lower the dose? Can we higher the dose? What can we do? I need this. I was like depending on T to take it away, just like it took it away 10 years ago, but it didn't fucking do it. So I just stopped taking testosterone. I just saw no point in doing it anymore, because it was like, well, fuck it, I'm still bleeding, so what's the point? And that's why I stopped. And then I was getting scheduled for surgery, and I did not have to go in for an emergency surgery because I was bleeding a lot again, that I was losing so much iron, and my hemoglobin was like deadly low, and I had to get emergency surgery. And at the time, while I was resting, basically while I was recovering from my hysterectomy, I was reading anything I could find, because I was bored as fuck, and I was just in the bed chilling and resting my my little area, making sure I was in a good position, wasn't totally laid back, in a comfortable position, had the body pillow and everything. So I'm just watching videos, I'm reading things, and eventually I was reading about detrans women talking about their stories. I remember, being on Tumblr and being in the radical feminist spaces and stuff. And and over time, I would say around January, February was when I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do it no more. I'm not going to take testosterone anymore. I'm going to detransition. I felt like transitioning. I had time. I wasn't working at the time. I was recovering from a surgery, so I had time to sit down and sit my ass down and think. So, I was thinking, like, did transition really like do anything for me? I was still, dealing with my mental health. I was still depressed. I was still, suicidal. I was still dealing with, my bipolar and all of that shit. And it was like, but did transition do anything? I still felt insecure about my body and everything. So it's like, what did it do? What did it accomplish? So I was going through all these questions in my mind, and then finally I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna just try to deal with my dysphoria in a logical way, in a reasonable way, not masquerading everything and pretending that I'm something I'm not, because I can't be male. You can't be a man. I was born a woman. I'm biologically female. That's what I am. You can't. There was nothing wrong with that. There was nothing that went wrong in my brain or in my body, or my mom was pregnant with me back in 1992. It's just like it just happened, and there's nothing wrong with that. And the feelings that I felt about my body were things that came about externally, not internally. So whatever. So yeah, I've been off testosterone since. But I just wanted to give that little preface that, like, yeah, I did stop testosterone a little bit earlier before I really, really declared detransition. But, I'ma still count it. I still think it counts, it's something, So, yeah, so this video is basically gonna talk about, like, what changes. I've had people like send me asks on Tumblr and stuff about, like, what changes have you felt since stopping testosterone? Like, did your voice change? Did your facial hair still growing in? different things like that. And I'm here to tell you, this is my experience. There's lots of detrans woman stories that you can find on Reddit and Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, YouTube, here on YouTube. But this is just me. This is just me. This is just Shawn. This is my experiences. Okay. So I'll start with physical changes first. I guess that's a little bit easier. My hips came back. I think I mentioned this in other videos, but yeah, my hips came back. My stomach's still there. You know, I'm a little chubby fellow, but it's not as, how do I explain it? It's not as beer bellied, you know, as it used to look like, but definitely it's gotten slim, not slimmer. I don't know. It ain't poking out like it used to, but it's still there. You know, I still got a belly. I still got a little tummy. You know what I'm saying? I still got a tummy. I'm still chubby. I'm not saying I like lost like 10,000 pounds, like 10 pounds, but I'm just saying like a lot of it, the fat redistribution has gotten back to my hips, and I can feel it because I had to get the jeans don't fit the same way like they used to. Another reason why I jeans don't fit me the same way like they used to is because I'm also not wearing a binder anymore too. That's another thing too that I was like, oh yeah, that's probably why my jeans fit different, because you know I used to wear the full binder, you know, the one that goes like fully on your body and down to your hips, so that was slimming me down a little bit. So now that I don't wear a binder, I haven't touched a binder in months, so that I assume that contributed to that too. But also, yeah, I've noticed my little hips, you know, been coming back. You know, my hips don't lie. I don't know. Physical changes. Another physical change that I noticed. A lot of people ask me about the facial hair. Like, of course, you know, I kept the facial hair because you know, I fucking love beards. I wish women could naturally grow beards. I mean, they can. There are women out there who can naturally grow beards. But I'm just saying, like, I just dig the beard, okay? I love the fact that my girlfriend strokes it when we be cuddling together. Like, I just love it. I just fucking love it, so I didn't get rid of it. But has there been, like, a difference in how it grows? That's actually something that I've been trying to peep, because for me personally, I feel like it's growing slower. It's still growing in, but it's growing slower. Like, I recently just got like a haircut, and you know, I got a little line up, got it, you know, looking taped, like looking great. You know, I feel like if I'm gonna have a beard, you know, I'm gonna have to, you know, make sure it look right. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it look clean. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I got a little shape up, you know, lined it up a little bit, and I did notice that like it's still pretty much the same length. Like like if I showed old pictures of me, like I've had full Santa Claus Rick Ross beard, you know what I'm saying? And it grew in pretty fast, but it's still growing in, but it's not like, you know, not like totally like as fast as it used to be, but it's still growing in, and I don't mind it at all. Like I said, I wanted to keep the beard, you know, so sue me. But yeah, it's definitely still growing in like I feel like it's still growing in thick, but it's just not growing faster, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? I don't know. Another physical change that I've noticed is I guess body odor is a little different. I don't even know if that was one of the changes that happened when you were on testosterone, but like I used to be like, okay, like I needed to have deodorant. Don't get me wrong, I still wear deodorant, don't get it twisted, but it used to be like, okay, fuck. Like the smell that would protrude out of my armpits was rather manly, to say the least. But yeah, I noticed like a change of odor, if that communicates to you guys. Let's see, another physical change that I've noticed. Now again, there could be things that are happening that I just don't see, but people on the outside might see. So I'm not, you know, I might miss a few things, but this is just me and my observation when I look in the mirror or whatever I take notes on. But also boobies are boobing. boobies are definitely. I know when you take testosterone, it kind of redistributes it a little bit, but you know what I'm saying. But I do definitely feel like my my titties are definitely doing their thing. They definitely have deep fat back into them. I still have big titties, you know. Yeah. um, but yeah, that's something else I noticed too. And again, another reason why I feel like I notice it more because again, I don't bind anymore. So you know, I wear fucking sports bras and that shit. You know what I mean? Like all the time. Besides when I'm like in the house or for the video because I didn't want them all loose out for the video, but but you know when I'm out, you know I wear sports bras and stuff. I haven't worn binders, so I think consciously like I'm starting to like realize realize I started to like really notice them, you know, instead of hiding them like I usually do, like I usually used to do. But also another thing that I swear my face getting diff. Cause you know when I was on testosterone, I felt like my face changed a bit. Like there was a jawline kind of ish. But now I feel like my I feel like my face is becoming more rounder and chubbier again. That's all the physical sides. But I guess emotionally, mentally, feelings, all of that stuff. I guess I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. I guess dysphoria doesn't really hit me like it used to. It's just been. I remember like when I first started, like thinking of like detransitioning. I was just like the very I had doubts. I definitely was like, am I gonna hang in there? All the feelings and dysphoria was just basically like hitting me, like just raging against me like waves in the ocean. But like now, I feel pretty fine. I feel pretty okay. I mean, I haven't really had any negative thoughts about my appearance or anything of that nature. I mean, I don't know. I feel like some days maybe, but it's definitely not like how it was in the beginning. Most of that is just due to just acceptance and just wearing comfortable clothes that I like to wear and just trying new things. I've gotten into fragrances and using cologne and stuff. Getting my hair cut and everything. Just making sure like I'm comfortable. Picking the clothes, picking shirts that I know that I'm comfortable in, that look decent, and that I'm not worried about my chest and whatever. But just small things like that, and some of it can be credited towards my girlfriend a little bit. I mean, because she just shows so much admiration and love for my body, but I'm a little bit scared of that. The only reason why is because it's like, how much of that can I depend on? Like some of that has to come from within me. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it kind of scares me because it's just kind of like, I can't just depend on her and looking for her for my self-acceptance. I have to do that for myself, but it's kind of rubbing off on me a little bit. It's kind of rubbing off, and I'm starting to be like, hey, maybe it's not that bad. Maybe maybe my body is fine the way it is. And it's definitely getting there. It's getting there slowly but surely. It's getting there. So I mean, it's been a pretty interesting year. Like I said in the beginning of this video, younger me would have never thought like I would ever get to this spot where I'm at now. And sometimes I feel like I'm cheating a little bit because I feel like my outward appearance is still very masculine and male presenting, and I don't know. I think that's a stupid thought to have, but like I do accept that I am a woman for sure, and and I'm just fucking rolling with it. At this point, I'm just rolling with it, and we'll see how things go in a couple of months and 2 years. What will be 2 years next November? But yeah, I just kind of wanted to share that little update with you guys. Just give my own perspective. I've seen other people do their own little videos and stuff, and I said, let me do one too, because it's about to be. It was a year since I stopped taking testosterone, and let me tell you, I do not miss, putting needles inside me or in my, gluteus area every week. Figuring out it's just at 0.5 is just enough, but going a little bit enough, because you think that putting a little bit more than the 0.5 that the doctor tells you would do anything. It probably doesn't do anything, but I would do that. And just doing that for like 10 years, and finally like stopping and realizing that like I didn't explode into 1,000 pieces, and I'm doing fine. Because back then I thought if I missed one dose of testosterone, hell would break loose, but it didn't. It didn't. I'm fine. I'm doing great, and yeah. So we'll see how things go in the future. So yeah, that was just my little update on how things have been since I, stopped taking testosterone and started to try to fix this, the different ways. Anyways, I'm gonna end the video. I'll see you guys in the next video. I have a couple of ideas that I want to flesh out. We'll see, but you'll see. You'll just have to wait and see. Okay. All right. Bye.